Let me do a quick introduction for YouTube. YouTube, if this does end up on YouTube, welcome. I hope you enjoy, especially after the controversy of one of my recent videos. Tonight, Operation Greif is a one live realism event using the post-scriptum realism mod, as always, as has become the standard. It's been organized tonight by the 101st Infantry Division, who I ranked as average. I'm going to have to bump them up a little bit now. It's going to be taking place on Sir Saint-Mier-Dumont, which is a new modded map. It looks actually amazing. I think it's in its early stages, but it looks good. Covering the event tonight, you've got your standard equipment available. Feel free to pause it here. This is what the Germans have available tonight, along with some extra details at the bottom. Here are the allies and what they have in terms of equipment tonight. And then quickly, I'm going to go on to the rules. Rules tonight are your pretty standard affair. Only medics can revive. Anyone can bandage. Limited lives, so you have a respawn wave that can be called in by your commanders at any time. 4 to 3. Allies get 4. The German defenders get 3. And yeah, local chat only. Don't use markers. All your standard one live realism event. The objective tonight is pretty simple. The allies have an hour and an additional 30 minutes for every objective they take. There are 3 objectives for them to take and secure, or they can win by just simply wiping out all the German reinforcements. That is it. That's the event for tonight. If this does make it up on YouTube, as always, I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you at the end of the video. If you don't make it to the end of the video, remember to like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Until next time, YouTube, enjoy the video. Return back to this conversation. Holy shit, because we are live, and hopefully the server will last this time around. We are live with Operation Greif. YouTube, I hope that introduction was enough. We had to change server, so we were, a little bit behind, but we're live once again. I'll quickly go over the clans once more. On the Axis, who are on the defense tonight, we have PIB, the 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division, I believe, Easy, and I think the 501st, I think that is it for the Axis. So then over on the Allies, we've got OSS, the 2nd Panzer Division, CF, BR1, OSS, and we've also got Mr. Pro with the MPs and the 1st RB in there as well. So lots of people involved tonight from backgrounds across Europe and America. It's going to be a good event. Germans on the defense, Allies on the attack. Standard realism event. 3 objectives for the Allies to take. They have an hour to take an objective. If they take an objective, they get an additional 30 minutes added to the time. So in total, it could be up to 2.5 hours, I believe, if my math is correct, that this event could go on tonight. Allied clans versus allied clans. Let's have a look at the German defense. So the first objective is right below me. It is the crossroad below me. So we can see already the Germans spreading out in a defensive position. They've got their commander and a strong section. Hold down on the crossroad here, the road junctions. See a couple of foxholes being dug there. Held out in this, what do you call this? A little farming hamlet, little farming house and barn. Yeah, held out in here with their commanders. Looking on the map, we can see there are also defenders spread out to the east, the north, the west, and the south. So the German defenders spreading out a nice defensive perimeter. Ready for the attackers to come in. We'll have to ready for the allies, see what happens. Until then, we're chill with these one-life events. Slow build-up, as always. Takes time. This isn't a rush, competitive scene where you can just run in over and over again. These things are slow, but we do already have a rush coming in. We've got a Sherman tank just barreling straight towards the objective. Doesn't give a shit. It just drove straight over the hedgerow. And it's just like, all right, boys, let's do this. It's just going straight in, looking at the objective. We do have a German infantryman flanking behind. Who is this in this tank? It's the 2nd Panzers. Just barreling with a short barrel Sherman straight towards the objective. And now it's got eyes on. Is it going to put any shots down range? I wouldn't be surprised. That is very quick, very aggressive from the Germans, from the Allied point of view here on the attack. 2nd Panzers, 4-man crew in this short barrel Sherman. Bold strategy. This is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for them. So far, they're just staring each other down. The defenders in the holdout and the tank, they're just, just a little bit of a staring match going on. No shots fired yet, but very bold. Was not expecting that. I literally just said we don't really get a lot of action in this. There's a lot of build-up. They're completely against that. Okay, so yeah, the Allies do have multiple vehicles they can use. They have half-tracks, various tanks they can use in this. Along with the Germans, they also have multiple transport vehicles, half-tracks, might even be some artillery pieces. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, there is plenty of counter options. on both sides to deal with any situation that arises to them. Right now, the German defenders are just keeping their heads down. We've got a few shots going out already, though, as the server just quickly hiccups there. God damn. What is going on? Not again. Please, not again. Why are my frames gone to absolute shit? Okay. It's coming back a little bit. The 501st over here are under fire. They're getting hit by some 50 cal fire. Also, we have the first cannon fire there. Let's go have a look. What is the Allies' situation and what are they using over here? So there is a half track along with a couple of infantrymen from the first RB. They're putting some suppressive fire down range. And the first German casualty is a half track of their own. And that 50 cal is continuing to litter the 501st here, getting peppered by those large 50 cal rounds. And there comes the Sherman. The Sherman open up with its short barrel, long range shots going on there. Almost like a mortar coming in. Let's see if it fires the second shot. There goes the second shot. Landing right on the 501st. And they're under a lot of suppressive fire here. Getting hit by both sides. Sherman and the 50 cal half track just suppressing them over here. They're under a lot of pressure already at this stage of the event. That round looks so slow. It really does. The Sherman short barrel now, their rounds look so slow. In fact, if you I don't know if it's up on YouTube, but the 6GA did an event where they had 3 Shermans and they were just firing directly into the air with their Shermans. And you saw the rounds. They were going across the entirety of the map and they were bombing a town. They were shelling a town from across the map. Pretty impressive. A clever use of tactics that they were using. And something that I completely missed. There is actually a Pack 38 here. Pack 38 is manned by Finray. He's asking for permissions to open fire. He says he has eyes on the half track. If I was him, I would just take the shot. And there goes one shot directly into the half track. You saw the metal shrapnels flying there as the 50 cal is under pressure. And the second shot goes straight in. Casualty returned. Fire shot back. As the 501st on the German defense take out the 50 cal half track. Brian now all on his own. He's going to have to retreat, meet up with the rest of his team. Good job there by the 501st. They suffered a little bit of casualties, a little bit of loss in assets, but they quickly made up for that by taking out a powerful aspect. Those 50 cals now as well, they're very powerful. You can penetrate buildings with them. You can take out vehicles easily with them. Sherman short barrel is relocated. It's driving straight towards PIB here. Oh, and a direct shot in the side there. Kills Jaden. Kermit goes down, however. Panzerfaust straight into the side. Sherman still active. Did lose a crewman, though, and the Sherman is just barreling straight out of there. Runs over Damien and Flop. As he just gets the hell out of there. I'm sorry if the server keeps lagging. The stream keeps lagging a little bit. I think it's just my ping. I think I have really high ping. Yeah, I'm over 100 ping. So occasionally when there's like a big explosion or some kind of effect, it's causing me to lag. My settings are the same. So yeah, if it stutters heavily for some reason, I think it's the server because we're playing on an NA server, so I'm suffering a little bit. I'll try to fix that for next time. But Kermit there, self-sacrifice, taking down one of the crewmen, Jaden, who lost his head and his arms and a leg. Jesus Christ. Brutal. Bold strategy, Cotton indeed. Didn't quite play off for the Sherman. The Sherman did put some shots into the crossroads, though, into the joint section here. And they did destroy one of the German half-tracks. No casualties for the defenders, though. The German defenders all very strong here. The 3rd Fallschirmjäger division. Still looking strong. There is the commander asset nearby, the Kulverwagen. That was the driver. That was the driver of the Sherman. Great shot, then. Great shot taking out the driver of the Sherman. Head over and see what's going on with Brian and the 501st, who lost a couple of their squad members. They lost their half-track. That cut out fast mobility for them. They still have the pack. I'm just going to see if I can help the ping a little bit, just by dropping my settings just a little bit, to see if that helps with the stuttering. So you can hear Hans Muller over here giving orders to his squad, telling his machine gun to hold it down, not to lose their cool, keep it sensible, keep it calm. They've got this. They suffered a few casualties, but nothing that they cannot handle. PIB also suffering that one casualty over there with Kermit, who... I mean, I don't think Kermit expected the Sherman to get that close, to be fair. The Sherman literally was driving straight towards him. I don't think he expected that, but nevertheless, he did his job. He did his due diligence. Taken out by the shockwave. He might be able to be recovered here. If they have a medic on scene, they might be able to deal with the busted ears. As soon as they start throwing smoke, it's going to go to hell regardless. Yeah, that's true. Or artillery. Or that 50 cal starts firing again. It's a lot smoother now, I will say that. MG42 here from Drummer in his little manhole. Ready to cut down any enemies he sees. Well positioned. In a good position here. Able to cover this open field here. There are hedges all around him, so people will be able to get very close to him. We'll have to see if his position pays off. Good defense for the Germans, though. They've got eyes and ears in every single direction. Sometimes what you'll see is teams will have all their focus on one direction. They'll have no one watching the flanks, the rear. Everyone's focus will be in one direction, and that just means the enemy comes behind, flanks them, takes them out. But Germans on the defense here doing a good job having eyes and ears, squadrons in every single direction around the point, able to cover, give early warnings of where the attacks are going to come in. Brian tried to make it down towards the objective, maybe trying to make it just towards, you know, the rendezvous point. But yeah, well, he's now just fertilizer for the daisies. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Can someone come with binoculars over here?
Yeah, coming. I have to check for all of
sit here in the foxhole and watch northwest, what is just by 12 degrees.
They had a little bit of artillery coming down there. Not quite sure where the artillery was. I do see a downed PIB member. So the Allies might have just called in some artillery on the PIB after that Sherman radioed in the location, perhaps. Because it's Drummer who was on that MG42 in that manhole. He's the one who's been taken out. PIB are a Dutch clan, so if you understand Dutch, you'll be able to understand what they're saying right now. I ain't got a goddamn clue. But you can see they're aware, they're alert, eyes open. They've got a second MG over here with Arc, able to cover this big open expanse in front of him, this field, while in cover of the shade. Couple of allied rifle shots coming in there. As we can see, the ZOB and the CF boys from Brazil, South America, they're slowly starting to hone in towards the first objective. Sketch Frank. Deep in the foliage here. Just got a basic Kar98, no scope. He's going to be iron sighting that. A lot with a Kar98 as well. I think Damien also has a Kar98. So not too much firepower outside the MG42. Just a lot of rifles from the PIB section. Obviously, the Americans have that massive advantage of having those semi-automatic rifles, like gun nerds, correct me if I'm wrong. The M1 Grand semi-automatic, they can just go bang, 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 bang. They don't have to bolt the next chamber. Got a lot of firepower. One of the advantages the Americans had was that superior firepower. They would have put in mass fire downrange, mass fire support, opposed to the Germans who had to rely on their MGs to do that. Full auto. Oh, the M1 Grands are full autos. Nice. I'd like to see that. A full auto M1 Grand with a drum mag. Jesus. And then the drum mag just a giant ping. It's not just a little like ping. The drum mag completely ejects once it's out of bullets. Just a massive ringing ping. Make that happen. Time on the board. We have 47 minutes, so over 10 minutes have passed. And all we've had is just a little bit of a skirmish from both sides so far. Nothing too major. PIB fell back towards the objective. You can see Mr. Tycho led the PIB boys all the way back to the objective. And we're going to have a little bit of contact over here maybe as the BR1 are starting to get very close. Almost on top of each other here as Chip, Livingstone, and the rest of his section also half track. Livingstone getting a kill on Naka there, but he also goes down. Chip also finding Bopak hiding in the hedges. PIB suffering the most casualties here on the German defense so far. Both times they've just ran into or been run upon by the Allies. And it's the first RB now who are very close to this objective. First, the 3rd Walsumjäger division probably hearing those shots very close by and maybe getting a little bit anxious of how close those shots might be. PIB, other side of the hedges here. Joking because they fire so fast. Yeah, that's true. You can full auto the M1 Grand in Postscriptum. It is ridiculously fast. As we've got the rest of the OSS moving forward for the Allied forces here. Haven't seen Mr. Pro yet. I have put a bounty on Mr. Pro's head. So whoever kills Mr. Pro, I will gift them a sub. How about that? I will give them a sub to my channel, obviously. Whoever kills Mr. Pro. BR1. Putting further shots down range. You can see Font there from the 3rd Walsumjäger. He goes down. As Zeki. Oh, froze his body. Well, I won't say froze his body on a grenade. A grenade rolled under his body. And he gets taken out there. As Madden also gets taken out by a volley of grays going out there. Got the OSS moving forward. More machine guns placed down those 30 cows. The Browning machine guns putting fire down range. Suppressing the defenders here as BR1 CF and also ZOB, they're pushing forward. Tycho putting some rifle fire down from the hedgerow. Prop, he goes down for PIB. I can also hear the whirling sound of his Sherman pushing forward. And here comes the Sherman. He gets hit by some kind of cannon fire. Probably the Pak 38. So the Sherman was pushing forward. Second shot straight into his side. And it is the 501st E. Fire spreading inside the Sherman. Long range shots from that Pak 38. Third shot coming in. And the Sherman is being abandoned quickly. Are they going to try extinguish the fire? Or are they just going to accept their fate at this point? Fire spreading the Sherman. Maester, and he gets burned, cooked alive. And the second PCD tried to go in there. YOLO once again. And now we have that Roman candle effect as the Sherman burns out. That Pak 38 putting more and more shots in there, making sure the job is done. The second PCD losing the first tank of the event. And that is some incredibly long-range shots there from the 501st on the German defense, utilizing that pack. Also got the BR1 who has stolen a German half-track and drove it towards the crossroad here. Not quite sure if that's completely 5-head or just what are you doing? Nevertheless, no doubt the Germans are probably a little bit confused by a half-track of their own driving towards them, then reversing away. You can see PIB retreating here as Mark, he gets cut down on the retreat. Demian and Luke there are looking at the German half-track and they're like, what the hell is going on right now? As Murtaugh is actually manning the MG42, firing upon the objective here. Utilizing the German assets against them as COB and CF, they're also pushing in along with the recovered tank crews. They're pushing in from the south side. OSS putting a lot of shots down range. A little bit of a stutter there again. Sorry about that. As the Allies are doing a big assault on the objective here now. PIB losing most of their squad members. They're down to Damien and Luke now. They're the only ones alive on their feet. They've been pushed all the way back. And the 3rd Walsumjäger of the last line of defense here at the crossroad as they're trying to hold out in these, I don't know what you call it, a barn and a house. Some kind of farming, little farming community, little farm instead. A lot of Allied infantry is still holding back. You got the OSS over there and the MPs from Mr. Pro. They're holding back a little bit. But they're starting to push forward through one hedgerow at the time. Objective is contested as the second PCD, the tank crewmen, they're the ones leading the charge. 1911s in hand. They're the sacrificial lambs who have been pushed forward, and a machine gun. An FG-42 just spraying down Robert there. The moment he exposed himself. Shots coming from the windows. It'll be interesting to see if the 501st rush towards this objective here to try defend it, or if they're going to just leave it to its fate. Because the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, they're getting suppressed from every single angle at this point. PIB have lost all their defenders. It's just the 3rd who are holding out on the crossroads here, holding the objective contested. How many of them are on their feet? 6 there, alive on their feet. Windows being suppressed. You can see those bullets ricocheting off the windows, off the walls. From those 30 cals, M1 Grands, Noob, 1911. Bullets going over his head. He gets into the compound. Runs by a German in his hole. He takes down Stenix. Noob, wow, he's just been sent in as a sacrificial lamb, man. He's gonna get... Murtaugh with the half-track now. He's actually getting hit by a little bit of friendly fire there. They maybe don't know the BR-1 stole the German half-track, and they don't. Scuff from the OSS shoots Murtaugh in the back of the head. They had no idea that that German half-track was seized by the Americans. Noob on the inside. Well, what's left of him, there's a leg. I don't know quite whose leg that is. But I've got to say, I think the Allies are going to take this first objective. The 2nd Panzer Division tank crew just getting in there. Doing their job, getting a little bit of a revenge after their Sherman was taken out. Quite effectively by the Pack 38 crew. We've got Easy Company here pushing forward. Jazz, Von, and the Barber all pushing forward to defend this objective. Look, pushing in to defend the 3rd Fallschirmjäger, who has suffered heavy casualties. It'll be interesting to see if the 501st also come down to help them. Not quite sure they will. They do have that pack. That Pack 38 is going to be incredibly powerful. And here comes the smokes. Red smoke, white smokes, all going out there. You feel like the OSS and MPs are going to be the next ones to push forward to try seize this objective. Wall of smokes going across this field. They have the numbers to do this. Obviously, they do have to push into a hard complex with machine guns and rifles ready for the German defenders. Let's just see once that wall of smoke starts to amplify, if they have any success. BR1 also wrapping around a little bit. So there's going to be multiple pushes coming in from the... What would this be? This would be the south. It doesn't really matter. There's going to be multiple pushes coming in. ZOB and CF still also have a lot of strength in their squad. And here comes the push. OSS scuffed leading the charge. ZOB and CF also here. The Brazilian, South American boys also pushing in. Lots of shots going down range. BR1 doing a lot of suppressive fire there. As Lulz from the ZOB, he's the first one to push in on the inside. Rudolph goes down. Barber is on the other side of the wall. He's got the MP40. He trades with Lulz as the OSS are now to push in. Dane, Von, and Malak, they're all pinned inside here. That MG42 is also opening up fire. Team kills going on there as the 501st from the Germans actually team killing each other a little bit there. Big numbers pushing in for the OSS. They need to start clearing these buildings. Crasher has got that Browning. Grenade in hand. Good grenade goes on the inside.
Jazz is down.
Malik holding that door with the iguana rifle. I don't know. It's the iguana. I call it the iguana because it just is. Pineapple on the inside. Grenade goes in. Will Malik survive this? He doesn't. That grenade blasting, clearing out the downstairs. Upstairs, Jazz goes down. Only Von is alive on the inside, I believe. He's holding the stairs with car 98. Or do we have someone on the 3rd floor as well? We have someone on the very top.
Yeah, they're into the compound.
Mass numbers here for the Allies.
I got one. Nice. I got 2. There's one third. I got 3.
Von is absolutely demolishing this with his car 98.
He's gonna throw a nick if I'm not careful.
Livingston is being a fucking genius here. 5-head plays from the BR1 members who are just on the outside looking through the window. But just sheer amount of numbers. Von goes down.
Copy that.
MP40 holding the stairs, but it doesn't matter. Oscar's there from the MP.
I'm happy I got 4.
Clearing it out, and that is the Allies claiming the first objective. The 501st Squadron, they're still alive. They're on their feet. They took out a half-track. They took out the The Sherman. Well, they're going to have to retreat now as we're going to move on to the second objective. 30 minutes will be added to it. So it took 23 minutes for the Allies to take the first objective. Good play there. They also stole some German assets, utilizing this German half-track with the MG42 on it to its full advantage. Good play then by them. Nothing against the rules about doing that. That's what I love about these events. You can usually steal the opposing vehicles in these custom One Life Realism events. So now we're going to fall back onto the second objective. I'm just going to open my map on the side so I know where the second objective is by looking at it. It is just above Brecourt Manor. So on the map, you can see I can't zoom in on the map because I've got that bug. But Brecourt Manor in the center of the map. The second objective will be around there. We'll wait for the Germans to spawn in, get their defense up, wait for the Allies to also get their situation resolved. I don't think Mr. Pro died, unfortunately. Can you see his name? Did he die? It's going to be hard to tell who killed him as well. That's the thing. He didn't die. Damn. He didn't die. So let's have a look at the scoreboard very quickly to see what is going on the scoreboard. So already you can see there's a big discrepancy here between the numbers. So on the Axis side, we've got 12 kills to 44 deaths, 19 wounds, and 0 revives, compared to the Allies, who have 29 kills to only 20 deaths, along with 29 wounds and also 9 revives. So already big discrepancy there. The Allies doing an incredible job early on, despite losing their Sherman and that hard track early on. Their infantry played that very well. Pardon me. Goddamn, hiccups. Burps. Let's have a look at who has the most kills on both sides. So we have 2 kills with Von. 2 kills with Million. And that's it for the Germans. Very easy to calculate. On the Ally side, we have 2 kills here from our boys from Brazil. 0 deaths. The PC and the tank crew didn't have much success. They did get 2 kills. 3 kills with Puppies here from the BR1. I think he might be leading the charge. So yeah, so far Puppies from the BR1 with 3 kills. And look at this. Lots of zeros on this, aside from Chip, man. Lots of zeros here on the Ally side. So a lot of people haven't died. Will this be the first time we have a realism event where someone survives the entire event without dying? We've had a few exceptions to that, like mortar crews who don't, like, they're miles away from the combat, and like commanders. We've had a few exceptions, but we've never had someone who is in the infantry or with a tank section who has survived the entire length of a match without dying. So it'll be interesting to see if we get that tonight. If we get a certain individual who can survive the entire match without dying. Interesting. And who, you know what, fuck it, we'll do that as well. Not only will I put a bounty on Mr. Pro's head, so whoever kills Mr. Pro, they get a sub. I'll give them a sub. Well, if someone from the active infantry or tank crews, if they can make it in the entire length of the match without dying, I'll also give them a sub. Why not? It's not a big prize, but fuck it. If we have, that's the thing there, we're gonna have multiple people do it. I will limit it to 1 person. I'm not going to have like 30 people all of a sudden not die. They just go hide in a corner. Fuck that. I'll limit it to 1 person. I'll pick someone at random. If they survive the entire length of a match, they were active in the combat and they don't die, I'll give them a sub. How about that? Jesus. So the Allies reforming, get their numbers, no doubt discussing their next battle plan. First respawn wave has been called in for the, well, both for the Germans and the Allies. So the Allies have 4 respawn waves. They're now down to 3. The Germans started with 3. They've just called 1 in, so they're now down to 2. Now we know. Now we know. So I believe this will be the second objective. Let me just double check. Yeah, so the second objective will be this area here. So this, I don't know what you would call this. Like a, it's like a, some kind of farm. Basically this area here, this complex, this bundle of buildings, barns and groves, this is the second objective. This is the area. I imagine it's this large building down here is the second objective. This is some kind of like headquarters, right? You could use this as like a headquarters, as a gathering point for your team. nicely designed. I like how these buildings have been put together. These individual assets have been put together to form like this nice complex.
So we'll split up into threes, and I'll just be going around making.
I don't know why there's like a heat effect. I don't know if it's coming on stream, but there's like a wobble in the middle of the screen, like a heat effect. I don't know if it's coming. I don't see it in OBS or in on stream, but when I'm like moving around, there's like a heat effect in the middle of my screen where like it wobbles. It's really distracting. Shift and silence should take notes. What, for the heat effect or the buildings? Yeah. One life events, we have that as always say it. One life events can be can be a big burst of action that it chills out. So that's what we've got right now as both teams organized and they get ready for the next stage. Yes, sort. Just hands heat effect. When is the next playtest going to be? Oh, that meme is fucking. That's true. That's true. Honestly, I would be down for that. Are you kidding me? Spending all that time learning CGI, and your first job is I need you to make a tiny man go inside another man's penis and explode. Honestly, I would be down for that. Are you kidding me? That's like how Disney ain't ever gonna do that. You know, you could either go to Disney and animate some kind of crappy retold version of The Lion King, or you can go to Amazon and have a tiny man go inside another man and explode. I would rather do that. That's more memorable to me. Don't know, they said it would be public. They removed my Chad playtester role. They got a lot of feedback from the VOR, basically. They got a lot of feedback from the last playtest. Hopefully, you know, they're not discouraged and they keep going with it. Obviously, the mod is heavily... There's a lot of boys from the 6J working on the mod. I like to think I've got a good J, despite taking the piss constantly.
That's good.
And they do the same to me. So I'll hopefully grab and be a part of the next playtest whenever it happens. I haven't been in touch with them for a while in terms of like the modding team, but I'll have a look tonight and see what's going on with it. Because yeah, we haven't heard anything for a while. I think it's hard for them to get like the last playtest. We didn't even get to up to 80 players, and the last Shifting Suns playtest, I think the max the server got was like 60 people, and it's hard to do a playtest when you don't have a full server. So hopefully the next playtest they can actually fill it up, but longer it goes on, the less likely, because obviously the player numbers for this game are drastically dwindling, and it's all my fault if you listen to YouTube comments for that. I'm the reason why player numbers are going down. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that I'm killing this game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm killing this game. What can I say? I just hate it that much. I hate this game. I fucking hate this game. I can't wait for it to be inactive and dead. Anyway, I was worried I wouldn't be able to. I was worried I wouldn't be able to because it would be full, but I ended up not being enough. Yeah, I think it was like 56 people was only the only people who turned up. It was real. It was great. We still got like to test a bunch of stuff, but yeah, it's disappointing. It wasn't a full server, especially because of the size of the map. The map is huge, so you really do need a full server. I think a lot of people had no show. Yeah, a lot of people did no show. A lot of people did no show. Unfortunately. Okay. The next attack is going to be coming in soon, so let's just have a look at the German defense so far. So I'll just open it up. You can see similar to last time, but I think this time the German defenders are being a little bit closer together. They're a little bit tighter knit. Last time they were spread out further. They created a larger perimeter. This time the German defenders seem to be more concentrated around the objective itself. They do have outliers. They do have like people further out in the perimeter as scouts. So we'll have to see if that pays off for them. Or we wait for the Americans to come in, do their attack, see how that goes. I think things are running a lot smoother now. I think performance-wise, touch wood, fingers crossed, the stuttering is decline. I don't think the stream is stuttering either now. So I don't know how it looks pixelated. Hopefully it's not that too pixelated, but I can't do it. That's Twitch. Not much you can do about pixelation on Twitch. That's just part of. Hello?
300 meters north.
Yeah, we got friendly.
Dude, I can place a foxhole on top of here? Fucking what?
No, it's
no,
not
you
possible.
can't-
You can't dig it up.
Oh,
You
it won't
cannot. You
work?
cannot. You can't dig it up. Yeah, it won't work.
Oh,
I've tested
okay.
every corner of this house.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay with you, Rudolph. I changed minds. Because
Okay.
you can have to relay orders. Like.
What is this? I like how
Okay.
I love when modders take extra time to like do interiors and these small details. I say this every time.
They have.
Every time we're on a modded map, I will always say this.
We'll group it like
Keep
this.
adding interiors, keep adding these small attention to details, like these random barrels and all this. Add clutter, make the map feel alive. I don't like when I see a map and it's barren. It's just a landscape of like empty buildings and fields. This is something that is chapter 1 maps. You see this a lot on the early maps where the maps are pretty barren in terms of buildings have no interiors. It's just open fields with not a lot of foliage or like random flowers and stuff, just small things. So when modders spend a lot of time adding just these small little attention to details, adding these assets, it makes so much difference. It adds character to the map, adds more variety in gameplay. I'm always a fan of that. I'm always a fan of when people take that extra time, that extra level of detail. It makes such a difference. So always modders, when you're making maps, look at that. And it doesn't have to be a huge map. You don't have to make bigger. Doesn't always mean better. Bigger doesn't always mean better. If you're thinking about making a map, you know, don't overdo it. Don't make a huge map that's gonna take you hundreds of hours to do. Sometimes the smaller maps, when you put in that extra time, is what you need. I do like some big maps though. Yeah, oh, don't get me wrong. I do like big maps. But if it's a big map that gets a little bit too... Sorry. The second Panzers are back at again by just driving a Sherman straight towards the objective, blowing up a truck, taking out Trotsky on the way. He's not going to be taken out by an ice pick this time. But the second Panzers just at it again with a YOLO Sherman, driving straight for the objective and causing absolute chaos to the defender lines. Meanwhile, we've also got infantry pushing forward. You can see it, machine gun fire going out to the, what that'd be? That'd be like the west. Luke's just got run over by the Sherman. Brave by the Panzers. The second Panzers for doing this. Especially after the first Sherman and its fate. But hey, it causes chaos. It causes panic within the enemy lines. It allows for your infantry to push forward. Why not? As the 501st are the first infantry to deal with conflict once again, just like last time. They're the ones who has to deal with this. They're trying to save that German half-track with the MG42, driving it back. As the 501st infantry over here are under fire from rifle, 50 cals. You can hear Browning machine guns firing. You've got the CF boys over here and the Zob, the South American boys. They're opening up some suppressive fire. They've got that impressive 50 cal with Lulz man it this time. Just sending absolutely shrapnel down range. Metal, you can see the bullets bouncing, penetrating the ground, ricocheting everywhere as the Easy Company are under a lot of pressure here.
Good position to defend the north.
As they're under pressure. See the 501st here doing their best to hold out. Got MG42 doing a little bit of suppressive fire, a little bit of blind fire. Another 50 cal firing. It seems to be every time there's a story, it's when the 50 cal like hits something. Like a little bit of the maybe the visual effects of the 50 cals. Their bullets are a little bit unoptimized. They might need to be optimized a little bit. It seems to be every time a 50 cal round bounces off something, it causes a stutter. Bayano from the DOB, he's the one pushing forward so far. Got carbine in his hand, pushing forward. Easy come there, trying to hold this tunnel, this trench road. They're digging in. Oh, this is actually underground. That's awesome. So there's actually like a little underground bunker here.
I don't have stamina anymore. Yes, it's all.
And they're just trying to dig in and entrench themselves deep underground there. Good place to be. It shelters them from the Sherman. Makes it hard for the Allies to deal with that. 50 cows still opening up fire. So we've got 250 cows just suppressing the German defense here. Not quite sure where the Sherman went. The Sherman might be getting ready for another drive-by. Oh, there's the Sherman. No, is that the Sherman? What is that? That is a German half-track that they stole, I believe. That's the German half-track they stole. So Murtaugh still utilizing that German half-track.
Yeah, they're almost at the main road. They're almost at the main road.
What tank? What tank?
When?
Yup, tank back again. Tank back again.
Sherman's coming back again.
There's the Sherman. As you could hear the Germans panicking there. The Sherman has reappeared, cresting itself on this hill here, right in the middle of these trench rows. The Sherman, you can tell, it's on the prowl, first gear, pushing forward. Big team kill there. Devastating team kill as the OSS and COB get wiped out by a Allied strafe along the trench row. The Allied commander putting the strafe in the wrong place. Only, I always can't pronounce his name. Euphraso? The only one who survived that. His entire section getting taken out by a strafe around him. Super unfortunate there for the Allies. In fact, that's the biggest casualties they've been dealt so far this event. German blasting away the barber. He gets cut down there. That is huge there, though. Feel bad for the South American boys who have just been taken out by their own commander there. And then Uraso getting cut down by that embedded MG 42 underground. That's really unfortunate. The Allies have lost an entire squadron there. Only Luz, who's left on the half track, is survived that onslaught. The Fiver on first. They're retreating back towards the objective. You got Font over here. He's still a little bit of an outlier. But you can see the MPs, OSS, and BR1, they've done a complete flank around the objective. They're now approaching from the west side. The German defenders, they do have a mounted MG over here, putting some suppressive fire down range, trying to spray through those tree lines, those hedgerows. And just like that, however, Puppies is like, no, we're not going to have any of that. He shoots the gunner straight in the head. He got up close. Are they going to steal another German half-track? I wouldn't be surprised if they stole this German half-track. Chip, he gets shot in the back, though. Font is doing his best to try keep this half-track in the hands of the Germans. German putting some fire on range now as well, as it's starting to blast away at this complex. Couple of casualties there. Winter goes down. Those shots coming in. You can just see the slow cannon fire coming in. Blasting away at the buildings. Shame we don't have destructible terrain. Can you imagine if we had destructible terrain like in Battlefield? The Fiver on Thirds are trying to save this half track. Sulla came forward. Puppies and Chip both going down. Rest of the Allied soldiers hanging back a little bit. I think, yeah, Murtaugh also got taken out in the second half track that got taken. Or is it... Have they just been playing yo-yo with the half-track? Did the Germans steal back the half-track? Is it just capture the half-track? Is that the game we're playing right now? The biggest aspect the Shermans has is the smoke. True. That Woolly Pete, the Sherman, if it wanted, it could just absolutely blind the defenders here, burn out them from the inside. You gotta think, though, APHE can penetrate these buildings, but yeah, if he just put smoke into the windows of these buildings, of this complex, it would allow the... Ally infantry a little bit more coverage to move forward. They know to use it. Yeah, they're probably just waiting. They're just buying their time. Obviously, they're on radio. They'll be listening to the other squad leaders, getting ready. They have limited ammunition. They can't just go to a repair crane in these events. They have to utilize the ammunition they have very carefully. And the German half-track has been destroyed. You can see that 50 cal used by the 1st RB on the half-track of their own, taking out that German half-track. Artillery has been called in. Not quite sure whose artillery that would be. It could be German artillery trying to bottleneck. Sorry, trying to anticipate the Sherman moving forward. 4 rounds of artillery. No major damage to it. Font has gone down from the 3rd Fallschirmjäger. That Sherman almost drove into the artillery, but wasn't enough. You got the PIB with Dumb Noah over here, who has his own half-track. with a MG on it. We've got a couple more allied infantry over there who have been casualties. The BR1, they've been taken out at some point. Missed that. That Sherman is the biggest asset the allies have to their advantage at this point, though. That Sherman can do so much damage. You can see it's putting shots in on the infantry over here from PIB and Easy or in these trench rows. Trying to blast out. It's a very hard shot there. You can see Jazz and Zakzak over here. They're confirming the kills. Looking through those trenches, counting the bodies. So they know at some point a lot of allies were killed. They know they didn't do it, but hey, they're able to confirm that. And they'll be able to confirm that the allies have lost a lot of numbers. Majority of the defenders are held up in this complex. As I have a look at the time, we've got 31 minutes. So still plenty of time. They took the first objective, the allies, within, what's it, 23 minutes, 27 minutes, something like that. So they still have plenty of time to take this objective. They have their tank operational. They can use it to their full advantage. They have infantry. They still have a lot of infantry. And they have one extra respawn wave over the defenders. So still plenty of time on this second objective. One objective after this one. So, no rush. Is Postscriptum better than Hell Let Loose? I mean, it depends on your opinion. Depends what you want out of the game. Postscriptum has a better private community doing realism events like this, where it's a much more intensive, hardcore experience. It's more realism. Hell Let Loose has a way better public scene. You'll find a lot more servers with a lot more variety in the public scene. But Hell Let Loose, it's got different game mechanics. It's more casual. Hell Let Loose is it's in between Postscriptum and Battlefield. It's got hardcore features, but it's also got a lot of casual features. So it depends on the kind of game you want. Postscriptum has a better private scene, like I said. These realism events, the modern scene, way better than Hell Let Loose. But it depends what you want. Hell Let Loose has a better public scene. Postscriptum public servers are dead. There's only a couple of them, and it's very repetitive and boring. Is Postscriptum tough to run on a PC? Not really. It's not great, but if you tell me your specs, I'll be able to give you an idea if you'll be able to run it. It's a lot better than it was. It used to be terrible. It's still not great. Still not, like, ideal, but it's not unplayable. OSS and BR1 and MP is still pushing forward. You should be fine. You should be fine to run on medium settings, 60 FPS, 1080p pretty easily. Should be fine. 60 FPS, 1080p, medium settings pretty easily. Similar as Hell Let Loose, they're both pretty well optimized at this point. I mean, they're not great. They still need optimization, but they're playable. You'll watch and make up your mind. Fair enough, man. The allies continue to push in here. That Sherman's still doing some long-range shots. That Sherman, I would say that Sherman is wasting his time dealing with the infantry over in these trenches, where it would be best placed over here, helping the mass gathering of allied infantry who are slowly starting to push forward. You can see the OSS pushing in here now, with the first RB trying to flank in from the south towards the complex. Also, we've got a flank going on from the MPs and BL1 over there, trying to surround and enclose on the objective. The Sherman's starting to push forward now. Be a good time for the Sherman to start putting some smokes into the windows. A lot of casualties here for the allies as they're getting cut down by multiple machine guns. You can just see OSS and first RB members getting absolutely shredded here by MG42s and rifle fire from windows, rooftops. Mass casualties for the allies. They're going to have to rethink this attack a little bit. I say the Sherman was, again, Sherman could have been best used to help the infantry there. It's a little bit too focused on the outer lying German defenders. Nevertheless, the allies are still in this fight. They still have numbers to use. You can see the MPs below me and BR1 members still have the opportunity to push in. I don't know how much the infantry and tank are talking. They should be communicating quite a bit. So you got to keep in mind, though, Tucker, this is a private, custom event. This isn't public gameplay you're seeing right now. This isn't a public server. This is, you have to be a part of a clan or know people to get into this event that's happening right now. It's used making mods. It's a realism event, so you have limited lives. You have to work as a team. You have to communicate and shit like that. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. This is like a Dungeons and Dragons event, but FPS and World War II. As the Sherman is now smoking, fire spreading, PIB again. The Panzerfaust absolutely on it. And look at that, the crew just immediately jump out as the fire slowly cooks on the inside. And another Panzerfaust hitting in the back of the Sherman. As Noob, he gets cooked down. Maestro, or Mastron, he just pushes through with that grease gun. And there's the Sherman just absolutely blazing. Any second, the turret is going to pop. Easy and PIB communicating together there. Great work from their squadron as the Sherman push forward, hit by 3 Panzerfaust. Fire spreads, it goes. Absolutely cooked. The Allies suffering a lot of casualties. They're slowly pushing along this outer wall, though, where they have a little bit of hard cover, a little bit of protection. They still have the 50 cal that can be used to do some great suppressive fire, break through walls. First RB pushed it in here. Brine, Spartan. There's two. Why are there 2 Brines? Hello? Brine and Brine. We've got the T-3000 Brine and Private Brine. Okay, we've got the Terminator. And we've got a Private. Got to say, the German defenders have done a good job equalizing the numbers here. They have suffered some casualties themselves, but I've got to say the Allies are the ones who have suffered the most casualties at this point. They're on the outskirts of the major building, though, of this complex. Wes and Brian working together. You can hear the German defenders on the inside calling out. Where Allies, big push coming in here for the Allies. They're clearing out the windows, looking through the ground floor. Checking out this, I don't know what this is, this outer tower? Outhouse? Storage house? They start to clear the stairs, moving up to the first floor. Grenade was thrown in the half-track. Oh, team kill there as PIB shot one of their own defenders. Great work there by Zobi on the outskirts, taking down Malcolm on the inside. The objective is contested. You can see the admin there watching over this. He's saying the objective is contested, which it is. Let me do this so we can actually see through. There's so many walls. This will help a little bit while we're at all these walls. Help see where people are in terms of the buildings, and we'll turn it off once this post-quarter fight is over. You can see a big bulk here of the OSS and our first RB. They've done a good job pushing into this complex. They have broken through a weakened part of the defenders, although they have suffered heavy casualties themselves. The MPs, they're still over there on the other flank, ready to push in, distracting the defenders. So hard to clear out these buildings, though. This is you really do need well-placed grenades. Good shot there by Zombie, yet again taking down Krupp from PIB. Very hard to clear these buildings. Very easy to hold a stairway or a building with a MP40 or even that Kar 98. Super Soldier jumping over his half-track. He gets sprayed down by Crasher. Crasher, who has mounted his Browning, his 30 cal on that windowsill, firing straight into the courtyard, cutting him down within a second. PIB and Easy have retreated into the objective. They're trying to defend it the best they can. Headshot over there takes down Demo. As MP and BR1 over on the other flank are slowly starting to push in. A little bit of a smoke screen going out. Suppressive fire going in. You can see that Browning 30 cal is being placed. Doing a little bit of suppressive fire there. Objective is contested, and the Allies are slowly starting to take over the objective. They suffered heavy casualties at first, but as they move as a unit and clear these buildings, these rooms one by one, they're doing a great job here. You can see Zack has that MG42, but he didn't have his gamer headset on because he gets flanked there as Brine comes up the stairs and takes down that MG32. Or 42, sorry. You can see the German defenders suffering heavy here as PIB are retreating back from this hedgerow as Livingstone from the BR1, he is pushing forward. Resistor 91 also pushing forward. They're the first one to push. Oh, they've only got pistols. I guess these are sacrificial lambs as well. Were they another tank crew? They're pushing in. We've got some respawn waves called. So the Germans, and I think both the Germans and Allies, both teams have used a respawn wave, I think. So if that's true, that means the Allies are down to 2 and the Germans are now down to 1 respawn wave, if they both called one. Zombie, who is getting a lot of kills at this stage of the event. See, Radio from the OSS mounting that German half-track yet again, using it against the defenders. So he's just cut down 2 soldiers with that M42.
Ze zitten al in het gebouw ten westen hier. Dus,
Crasher with a grenade on the inside. PIB, Bopak, he's trying to get out the door. He just makes it out the door in time.
Volgens mij hebben we ook vijandelijk MG-vuur vanuit een halftrek of zo, vanuit oost, zuidoost. Ja, check. Als we
Didn't see where that grenade went, but no one was taken out by the grenade. Crasher on the inside. We're trying to get on the inside. He's taken out by Bopak, who was holding on the outskirts. Freedom. He gets taken out. MP is still not pushed in yet. MP is playing this a little bit steady. As more team kill goes out there, I've got to say, there's been a lot of team kills this round from the Germans. Obviously, we had that strafe run that wiped out the Allies early on. But now the German defenders are starting to add up the team kills as well, as we had a 4-round artillery barrage. I think that was a Allied artillery barrage. So speaking of team kills, the Allies just scored in an artillery barrage, and they destroyed the German half-track. And they destroyed the command car. Or is the half-track? No, the half-track's actually not destroyed. It survived. Its engine's just been destroyed. Interesting use of an artillery barrage there when they had men on the objective. Very interesting there. MPs finally with Mr. Pro leading the charge, starting to do their assault. Maybe you could argue if the MPs came in a little bit sooner, they would have been able to completely take over this objective. The OSS and 1st RB did a great job pushing in, wrapping around, clearing out most of these buildings, but just over time they were just whittled down due to attrition. So if MPs came in a little bit sooner, you could argue the Allies might have taken this objective already. 20 minutes left on the board. Still plenty of time. Zombie and Brian, they're still alive. Zombie got so many kills so far.
Dat is niet handig dus.
Yo. Ik ben er ook.
Yo, de klasse drummer. Zit
Drummer's
live
alive.
aan die kant van het gebouw, man. Ik hou oostelijk.
He's trying to link up with his team. He's getting shot at. Brian missing those shots. Sitting duck there, Drummer was, and Brian whiffing his shots there for a second. New tank coming in, and I think that is a Steward. So we've got a little light tank approaching now for the Allies. That Steward, hey, it might be a light tank, but that can easily penetrate the walls of these buildings with a little bit of APHE, clear out the buildings. And it's the 2nd Panzer Division who are coming in with this Steward. He might destroy this half-track first. We'll have to see. MPs, they've cleared this outer complex. You can see them taking their time. They're being cautious over here. Mr. Pro leading his squadron. They've cleared out that building. Zombie getting the kill on Drummer. And he's wrapping around the building. Zombie is doing a great job here. We're going to have to check out his kills afterwards, because he must be at least at 8 kills now. There goes the half-track. So yeah, the Steward destroyed the half-track. MP is now starting to link up with OSS, moving in on the objective. We've got some kind of a collision going on here. Reinforcements were coming in for the Germans, and they landed right on top of the reinforcements for the Allies. So the 501st here suffering a lot of casualties as they came upon.
I don't think there is
The Steward, oh, the Steward. If the Steward misses this, the Steward must have... The Steward must have seen the 2 German half-tracks. One of the half-tracks coming in with the Fallschirmjäger. Resistor was just there, ready to cut them down as they came in. MPs made it on the inside. They're slowly clearing out these complexes. They've suffered a few casualties, but look at this. German infantry is starting to flood in. But at the same time, Allied infantry is also going to flood in. So both teams... Both sides reinforcing at the same time, and both reinforcements are going to flank in on each other. Allies pushing in. MP is suffering casualties still. As that Steward takes out one of the half-tracks, taking out the 501st reinforcements. This is really contested now. Reinforcements meeting at the exact same time, almost. OSS and 1st RBs and MPs still hold this area of buildings here, and they still hold the outer buildings. So the battle is going to be for this corner here, this large, chunky side It's going to be where the final battle really takes place. They have the advantage, the Allies. They have that Steward tank, which is actually retreating at this point. The Steward tank is actually retreating. It's not going to come in. You can see more reinforcements flanking in. The Brazilian, South American boys, they're also coming in from a different flank. OSS and BR1 are pushing in here. Not wasting any time. The German reinforcements managed just to make it in time before the Allies, but the Allies aren't wasting any time. They're going to push in here, try get in before the Germans can entrench themselves further. Lots of casualties already for the Allies, though, their reinforcements, as they get caught between the easy reinforcements and Fiver and First. Grenades going out there, cutting down the Allies as those pushing in. Allies suffering a lot of casualties there with that reinforcement. That reinforcing section. Not quite sure what the 2nd Panzer Steward is doing. It could have pushed in greatly there and helped clear out some of these buildings. 1st RB suffering more casualties over here. As that 2nd reinforcing squad gets taken out. Jazz takes his time, lines up the shot. Away he goes. Defenders still taking casualties, but you got to remember there's still Allies entrenched in these buildings here, and the Steward is returning now. More and more reinforcements coming in. It's the South American boys who are going to be the next ones to assault this final complex, this final part of the complex. Half track is mounted, 50 cal, able to penetrate those buildings. That 50 cal can just go straight through the walls, no issues. It's hard to hide on the inside. Scuffed is actually trying to save one of the Allied half-tracks. As a couple of team kills go out there from the German side. With a few wild grenades. Jazz the Dane getting another kill there. He's flanked all the way around. He is wounded. He's trying to patch up his wound quickly. This has turned into a very scruffy and messy fight now. No one really knows where anyone is. Allies and German alike. They have no idea who is going to be behind what corner. Steward is slowly pushing forward with some infantry and a half-track behind him. The 3rd Fallschirmjäger is still held up in these buildings here. See, Fuchs getting a kill there. Was that Fuchs or... No, it's Matteo. Taking out some of these South American boys. That MP40 just firing, and every time it fires, it gets another kill to his name. I think Tiger from the PIB just went down there from the coaxial, the whole gun of the Steward. I want to see the Steward start firing into the building itself. Start putting some APHE to penetrate through and blast on the inside. 1st RB and MP is still on their feet. Did Mr. Pro die? Did he die? I missed it. Fuck. Who killed him? I don't see his name here. I think he's dead. Steward is blasting into the hedges at this point. Trying to find anyone who's hiding in the bushes behind the trees. And really all it is the 3 members from the Fallschirmjäger and also Nepi over here, Nipai. Just hiding in a bush. You can't blame him. There's a tank rolling around on the outside. There goes another German half-track. The Steward making sure. He's going to run right into... Don't tell me he missed that. A reinforcing wave coming in. A reinforcing wave coming in for the Germans. And the Steward is right next to it. The Steward just missing it. It did find one of the German half-tracks and it is trying to destroy it. I don't know if it's already destroyed, though. I think it's already destroyed. Is it destroyed? Yeah, it's already destroyed. That's why. Lots of casualties on both sides now, though. Let's say the Allies. Those respawn waves for both sides were really messy. They ran on top of each other in multiple angles. So both sides suffered heavily in their reinforcements. No real gain was made on either side, and the Germans do have numbers slowly, like, such a mishmash of squads here now. You've got Easy, PIB, Fiver on First. They're all just trying to link together at this point. Whatever they have left. Also, another team kill there from the Germans.
I can go on the other side of the thing.
Did they kill Stenex? Oh, no. Stewart is just patrolling around. Look how tiny the Stewart is, man. Look at it. It's so small. And there's 4 dudes inside there, man. There's 4 dudes. That is smaller than my car. Another team kill for the Germans as well. This is what I mentioned with how messy it's gotten. People just don't know where anyone is. They don't know who's friendly. They don't know who's foe. It's turned into such a messy fight now. Bodies strewn everywhere in buildings, bushes, behind trees. And another team kill. Are you kidding me? Anything is smaller than your Range Rover, Yaz, Ubola? Bro, I wish. Are you kidding me? I fucking wish I had a Range Rover. Bro, I've got a Ford Kia. No, not a Ford Kia. I've got a Ford KA, bro. I've got a Ford KA. That's what I've got. Good kill there by the MPs, taking out one of the German defenders. Trying to flank in. The Ford KA. It's a good car, don't get me wrong. It's a 2011 Ford KA. It's a good car. Don't get me wrong. It's cheap to run. The only problem is it's very slow. I don't like how slow it is because it's only got a small engine. But I do like it. It's the best car I've ever had. It's modern. It's got like good radio, good aircon, easy to drive. It's cheap. Just a little bit slow. I don't like it on that front. Arctic stealing one of the Allied half tracks. They've been stealing. It just basically has been piggybacking each other's half tracks this match. So, like I said, I doubt we're going to see anyone survive this entire event without dying at least once. It's always hard to see. We'll have a look at the scoreboard in a second. More team... What is going on? What is going on with all these team kills? The next wave of allies are pushing in. This time, the allies do not care. They're not doing any flanks. They're just pushing straight down the main road. They feel they've inflicted enough damage to the defenders to get in there. Plus, time is running out. They only have 8 minutes left to take over this objective. Can the German defenders hold on? They still have strength. They still have numbers. They might just be messing around spawn. True. Hopefully, they don't get banned, though, for team killing, because it's usually an auto rule. Lots of allies coming in now. They know they've got limited time. They need to take this now. And they need to do it with minimal casualties. Half-track gets taken out there as the steward blasts away at freedom.exe is loading. Huge numbers coming in for the allies. All they have to do is overwhelm what's left. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know who was the blind person who missed them originally, but Jesus Christ. We're down just to a pocket of defenders alive. You've got us 10 over here, who is, yeah. Not gonna be alive very much longer. You're down to 3 German defenders just holding out on the inside. Don't think they're gonna be alive much longer, as the numbers are slowly mounting. Hey, just try and take as many as you can with you. Just take as many as you can with you. Make it so the allies need to use another respawn wave. Limit their numbers as much as you can. Team kills are going out. The allies are team killing each other now. Again, that confusion, that chaos. That's a good grenade. That's a good grenade. Just didn't affect the boys over here. One at a time, they're coming in. One at a time. Like lemons. Who's next? Who's next? That's a good grenade. Denex saw it. And the trade there by Manon. Good use of the grenade. Smoke him out. Bait away the FG. And then push up from it. Again, that's what you got to do, though, at this point. As the remaining defenders, try take out as many as you can. To go down with a fight. Go for headshots so they can't revive. Chip saw him. Chip saw him in the corner. Milanian holding it. That grenade messing up.
Roger. 5 minutes. I'm dead.
Scuff taking it down, so it's only Mateo alive, holding the attic. I think that's GG for the second objective with, yeah, 4 minutes left. And there he goes. Zombie with the final kill there. The second objective is taken. I don't see any Germans alive left at this point. So with 4 minutes-ish left, the second objective is taken. 30 minutes is being added to the timer. So we're going to get 34 minutes for the Allies to take the final objective. I believe the Germans will only have 1 respawn wave left now. And I think the Allies also only have 1 respawn wave left. So I'm going to head all the way to the final objective. And we're just going to chill and wait for then. We'll have a look at the kills once I'm over there. We'll have a look at the kills, tally up, see who's on top, who's on bottom, see if anyone's actually survived so far and not died. Because we might have 1 allied guy who survived the entire time. Obviously, no Germans have survived at this point. Okay. The final objective, I believe, will be basically the church below me. That's a nice castle. Is this castle... Is it the castle from Dornworth? Or is this from Maginot? Is this the new from Maginot, this castle? I don't recognize... I think they've reskinned it from Dornworth, right? That's the Dornworth castle. Okay, let me have a look at the kills quickly. Kills, deaths, let's have a look. So the Germans still massively behind. 66 kills to 132 deaths. Granted, they've been team killing the shit out of each other at this point. So I don't think we can really look at the deaths at this point. Wounds, 91. Revives, 13. Kills, this way you can see the difference. Allies, 85. Deaths, 93. Wounds, 98. 30 revives. Let's have a look at the most kills, the most deaths. 8 kills here from Millennium. 8 kills there. He's the highest, I believe, for the German side. Couple of 5s. Over on the Allies, We have 10 kills from Zombie, who was the commander. I said he had a lot of kills. 10 kills. Those were probably a mix of artillery and also his M1 carbine. He's been absolutely shredding in that complex. And 7 kills here with Puppies. He was doing well as well. 7 here with Livingstone. Mr. Pro, no surprise. No kills to his name. And he has died. And that's it. I don't see anyone here who hasn't died. So as I said, yet again, there's going to be another event where no one survives the entirety without dying at least once. Oh, bro, I'm going to have a little bit of a drink now. My voice is killing me. Let me have a little bit of a drink while we wait for the final phase of the event. This is a nice town. I like this. We're going to have a look through this town a little bit. Okay, let's have a look at this town. See how it is. But the allotment's got a weird graveyard. What the hell? I assume this is based on a real life place. All these custom maps are. Saint Longe? What is this place, chat? Does anyone know? Any history nerds in chat know where this is actually placed on? What is the town? It looks very nice. This is my style of map, man. I love urban maps. This is me. I like urban maps. I like the ability to like go in every building. Those who fell, 1914 to 1918. I like urban style maps. I want lots of buildings. I want lots of alleyways, streets to fight through. I like that. These are my favorite style of maps, where it's just very heavily urban. Thinks it's Longe Semer. So was that an important part of World War II? There must be some like big historical event that happened here in World War II. That's all these maps are. Very French as well. With the narrow roads and stuff.
Hiermee hebben we zowel richting Westvisie als Noordwest. Dat zijn onze 2 sectoren. Iemand zoek even een trap, want volgens mij kom je naar boven.
Beyond the sea. French can't even make towns right. I mean, no can the British, to be fair. No can England, the UK. Our towns are just as bad. They're just as horrible. They're absolute garbage. According to Dr. Google, it opposed the D-Day invasion with German batteries there. Okay. Cool. The more you know. The more you know. So we've only got 14 minutes. So the Allies can't actually waste time here. The clock is ticking. They need to hurry the fuck up. The Allies need to hurry the hell up. They've only got 14 minutes. They do have an extra respawn wave, I believe. So they need to assault quick and then respawn if they start suffering casualties. They just need to throw it out there immediately. They need to go in big, hard, fast, and explosive. I'll do. Is the interior of the church made? Let's have a look. No. They need to make it so you can get into the bell tower, man. I'm so disappointed that they have this bell tower, and yet you can't. There's like not a ladder or a staircase that leads up to it. They need to change that. They need to make it so you can get on top of these bell towers. Also, like get onto this like little piece here. Something like that. I don't know. We'll agree, right? They need to open up the bell towers because it's just so cool. Everyone wants to be like the sniper in Saving Private Ryan. Come on. Who hasn't at some point loaded up an FPS game, gone into a tower, have a lot of phases, and wanted to be the guy from Saving Private Ryan? Check the boxes near the church. I think one of them, I think on one of them of the maps, I saw an Easter egg.
That's all right.
Please report books to the workshop page.
Are they in a fire? North. Okay.
That it?
I really have no idea.
That document?
Well, the church is the objective. We need to be wary of that.
There? That paper? Okay. We'll quickly look at this. Was it meant to be? I can't make it out. It's too blurry. Near the mattress. I don't see anything. F. Let's get back to the fight, though. The Allies are coming in hard. They are coming in strong. They've already secured 2 of the main roads leading into the town. OSS pushing hard here. MP, in fact, it's just all the Allies bulked up. We've got a little bit of a flank going on from BR1 section, but they're on the outskirts of the church already, securing the courtyard next to it, and the main roads, the main arteries leading into the town. It's a route the Axis, the German defenders actually left completely exposed and open. No one was over in this little cross section here to hold up this corner. You got the 501st here on the outskirts of the church. They're holding it up, but they're under fire already from that 50 cal, the half track that you can hear firing. OSS are continuing to wrap round through the town. They're going to quickly cut off PIB if they keep this up, or they might end up sandwiched themselves between 2 PIB sections. You've got PIB there, PIB below me. So already going in quick here for the Allies. 11 minutes left on the board. Not wasting any time. OSS doing a good job securing a lot of ground, securing these 2 main arteries. MP now pushing up with the half track in tow, putting suppressive fire down range. Suffering casualties. The Allies are taking damage. The steward is just doing donuts around the church. What a surprise. Steward should start putting some fire down. Start, like, locating where enemy fire is coming from and just putting some shots into buildings. Start helping the infantry. Just sit quiet for a second. Listen for the gunshots and just start suppressing in those directions. First RB moving a half track forward. Mr. Pro there dodging a shot as the gunner was taken out. Half track was trying to move towards the church, I believe. Mr. Pro go into the corner. First, the 501st with the 1-point shots down range. The half track running over Oscar. Love it. As they're trying to put some suppressive fire on the 501st here, who are on this little corner house. Half track driving off. Moving into some cover. MG42 opening up fire below me. As Easy come there, trying to suppress and hold back the BR1. OSS starting to get into a fight now with the PIB section, suffering a couple of casualties. Tiger was taken out on the 3rd story. Mr. Pro and the MPs are falling back a little bit as he's taking a little bit of damage, wounded, and also suffering casualties. Pack 38 there. The 501st have actually found a Pack 38, something they've been waiting for the very end to use. And that is actually a great position for them to hold. Look at this position here on the corner. Anything that wants to take out this Pack 38 has to expose itself. Great position for the Pack to hold there. OSS getting absolutely decimated by an MG42 there from the PIB. You can just see the casualties mount up for the Allies as they're slowly taking losses. 9 minutes on the board. Allies suffered a lot of losses. Initial success pushing into the town. They came very quick, very fast. But the casualties are starting to add up now. I can hear the steward returning. Steward is returning. It drifts around that corner. It's going to be careful. That Pack. Oh, if that Pack just remained in its position for like 5 more seconds, that was it. Mr. Pro trying to usher the rest of the Allies forward, but he's left on his own now, as everyone else from his squad has been taken out. He has his Thompson. He's trying to clear out this corner building.
Save it. Start.
Mr. Pro, what are you doing?
Shit!
Good shot.
No, I killed our medic.
Oh shit.
501, retreat all the way to the top. Retreat all the way up top. Top stairs.
Did he even... Was he even the kill there?
Eastern building. They're in the eastern building. Cross.
I'm checking stairs.
I don't see his name.
Yeah, but I'm on top. I'm still on top. Don't worry.
He got a kill. Okay. Jesus Christ. Did you see the panic jump? He fucking panic jump. He hit his space bar. I love that. When people panic jump. I own Brian now? True. Was that Brian who got... Which Brian? There's two Brians. Which Brian was it? Oh, a big shot there from Panzerfaust straight into the side of the steward. Which Brian was that? Was it Os 10? Because there's two Brians. OSS have actually made it into the church with a few squad members, but they are suffering heavy casualties. PIB are looking to breach on the inside, but...
Okay, hang on. Let me throw a nade again. Okay, priming nade. Throwing nade.
Hey, covering.
Good nade. After grenade explodes, go.
Ooh, great grenade there as Iguana goes down. Also, who's that? I can't see the name because it... Oedipus? He goes down as well. PIB clearing out the church very well. Time on board, 6 minutes. The Allies can't waste any time. If they have a respawn wave, they need to use it and just fucking rush the point. The steward is still on its feet. Or on its track, should I say. So the steward could just, again, just use anything you have. Waste the ammunition, blast into every window and building at this point. As Eha is holding it up in the attic. Stuck on the inside. You can see the steward actually putting shots in on the inside, doing what I just said. Wiped out a lot of the PIB as it shot straight through the window. A lot of the PIB getting taken out by the steward there. Give it, guy. Yeah, I'll give it to Big Brian, the boss Brian, I guess. I can hear a half track. Here's Brian. Wait, it wasn't Brian because Brian's on the Allied side. It wasn't Brian. Brian's are on the Allied side. Both Brians are below me. Good job there from a collective of the BR1, CF, and COB. If they clear out that corner building, Steward's still active. Lots of PIB squadron members still alive. If they wanted, they could push south. Steward trying to clear out the church. Five mins left. It was him? What, so he team killed bro? Steward is just trying to blast into the church, man. The Allies need to gather whatever infantry they've got 4 minutes. You can see reinforcements rushing in here. They still have plenty of infantry. If they mounted their infantry up, they could probably breach the church with the support of the steward putting some fire in. Brian moving the half track around.
He's dead.
Trade by Madden there.
Are you down?
The half track has been stolen by Fox. He was trying to take out the steward with the half track, bro. I salute that. You can penetrate the steward with the 50 cal. Bro, I salute that. Monumental efforts there. 5-head play.
But the steward is still sitting over here.
3 minutes and here comes the reinforcement, man. The red wave. The final assault for the Allies. I can also hear a plane coming in. Pack over here from the Pack 38 from the 501st still operational. And it's actually doing a good job putting some shots down into this little courtyard here. But I don't think it's going to be enough on its own to hold back this absolute monumental tide. PIB are trying to flank back, retreat, and meet up with the rest of their team. Zeke takes a 38 body. Wow, okay. Pack 38 is actually doing a great job just picking up people one by one. Took out the half track. Just look at it. It's just one by one direct hits. Why the hell not? The Allies are suffering a lot of casualties just by having this Pack 38 just whittle away at them. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Although we still do have a strong embedment of defenders on the opposite side of the church across the road. Although they are heavily outnumbered. And let's not forget, the steward is still in the fight. The steward could, if it wanted. Stenix goes down. Poor DJ literally walked around the corner. There's a cannon.
Good one.
What do you even do in that situation, man? That Pack 38 absolutely going to town. There's only a minute left for the attackers, but I think the attackers are going to win this. Bjorn. There's ZOB flank behind there. The church has been secured. The last objective has been captured with a minute left. The admins are calling it. Congratulations to the Allies. Good game all round. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it, Twitch and YouTube. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's have a look at the final tally. 92 kills to 164 deaths for the Axis. 129 wounds and 14 revives. On the Allies, we've got 109 kills, 133 deaths, 128 wounds, and 39 revives. Most kills, we've got 7 with Rudolph here for the Axis. I think he's probably going to be the most. Oh, 8, sorry, there with Million. And then on the Allies, we've got Zombie with 12. 7 here with Resistal.
Who streamed? Yazoo, right?
8 here with Livingstone. So, great event overall. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
If this does end up on YouTube,
I think so, actually. I'm not sure.
salute, much love. As always, like and subscribe and leave a positive comment. There's been a lot of negative comments on my last. I wonder why. Yeah, no, that was good. Well played, Allies. Yeah, well played. Good game. And a big thank you to my April Twitch subscribers: Curdlechip154, Spezjal, Boswell, Seb6GA, Rocky LD, Selly_Kitty, Callum Derp, Mr. Taichu, Cloud36, Finnyside, Ikadu_the_Noah, Why So Salty I'm Not, It's Carl's Designs, Jabes MX, Ishashashishu, The White Gamer 05, The CJ Reed, and Okinamakibitu.